I am staying in the same room.
Yeah.
So anybody who's staying with me should stay here. Now I have to figure out how to do the breakout rooms.
I need to learn that too.
Stop sharing. Stop sharing. It'll be easier.
Well, it says it's under more.
It's under more.
You can just go to breakout rooms, and then a window opens up. And I'm going to close all the rooms. That's what I have to do now. Delete room, yes. Delete room, yes. Delete room, yes. Delete room, yes. And add rooms. This is Eric. And who wants to go with Eric's breakout room? Please say your name.
We're basically going to be writing a song together.
That's great.
Just like singing and playing guitar.
All right. Who's going? Jay?
Yeah, Jay.
Okay. Who else? Say your nickname, I should say. Who else?
Jared.
Nathan.
Jared? Okay. Who else?
Nathan.
Rude Aerotech.
I didn't get either one of those, by the way. Sorry. Who else?
Hybrid Aerotech.
Hybrid Aerotech. Thank you. Anybody else after that?
Nathan.
Joe.
Joe? Yes.
Nathan.
Thank you, Nathan. I kept hearing your name, but not hearing exactly what you said. All right. So it's Eric.
Xander.
Xander. Got it. Eric. Hybrid Aerotech. Jared. Jay. Joe. Nathan. Xander. We good? Is that all right?
Let's do it.
Fantastic. Now, and then what do I do then? I keep forgetting how to do it.
Start it.
Start it. It says open all rooms. Okay. Let's see if that works.
All right. All right. Here we go.
Ah! Okay. Who's left? Kevin, AJ, Carter, Landon, and Becca, Jared, Allie. Who is the set of glasses? Oh, Tim, Josiah. All right. Let me get this started. No. Oh, there it is. Bingo. Do you see that? Guys?
Hey, Randall.
Yes, sir.
I think there was still a time limit on the breakout room for 8 minutes.
Oh, yeah. I should change that.
Speed session.
Yeah, let's see. Breakout rooms. Let's see. How do I do that? Broadcast, so I've got this.
It's in the advanced.
Advanced.
I wish I was here for this, Randall.
I wish I was here for this. Advanced. Where is the advanced stuff? That's wild. Broadcast a message to all. I'm working on it. Thank you for noticing, though, Eric.
Oh. I can click on.
Yeah, go ahead.
No. I can click on breakout rooms right now, but I don't know if it'll still be 8 minutes.
But I'm trying to figure out how to change the length of time. That's the part that I don't know. Let me go down here and see what I can do. Breakout rooms. It doesn't show me advanced things. I have broadcast a message to all. Close all rooms.
It says click the name of the group, then click the settings tab. Do you see settings tab?
I do not. I do not. I
We have a
do.
Lori Rout who's entered the waiting room. Is this someone who's
That is
authorized?
my other computer.
That's what I
Ah.
thought. Can you let him in?
Yep.
And let's say it is now 11:06. Let's say 50 minutes,
That's great.
50 minutes. Good, I figured out how to do it. All right, you're
All
off
right.
to the races.
Thank you.
Great, thank you. Now, back to the program. I'm going to be sharing this to the COI's Google Drive. So you'll be able to use this. It's really a glossary eventually. I'm going to view. All right, there we go. Great. What you're going to need, if you have a composition you've been working on, I'd like you to get it out. Oops, I have to record this, don't I?
Wait for Landon to rename himself.
Landon, if you wouldn't mind renaming it.
Getting rid of your last name.
Yep.
We don't want that on the recording. Great.
Thank you.
And Carter, if you want to name yourself, that'd be sweet.
Okay. Now, I'm going to show you, this is the document that I wanted to show you. And I'm going to show full view. Got it. Do you see this? Thumbs up? Great. What you're going to need is your composition. If you have one that you've been working on, I'd like you to have some staff paper or music notation software if you don't have staff paper. I'll give you a minute or so to open your software notation software, and if you're using staff paper, you'll need pencil. I've got a keyboard in front of me, but almost every theory session I do, you need to have a keyboard. If you have an electric keyboard, that's great. If you don't have a keyboard at all, I will be doing keyboard as well. So it's just going to be easier for you to be able to see it on your own keyboard. And so we're going to be talking about embellishing tones and how they might actually lead to generating melodies. The source that I'm using is a website that's right here, and you'll be able to click through to it. It's called the Open Music Theory website, and it talks about these embellishing tones. Now, you'll notice I'm using tones and not notes, because Opening Music Theory is a British website, and they don't have notes, they have tones. So we'll be using tones to describe this. Would you mind, guys, if you unhooked or unmuted your microphones so we could have a conversation? There's not enough of you that we shouldn't be doing having a conversation about this.
Hello.
Hello. So whoever does not have either their composition or staff paper or pencil or keyboard, could you let me know who you are? Great. We're going to do something today using staff paper or your notation software. We're going to create maybe 2 melodies, maybe 1, maybe 2, maybe 3 if we're really overachieving right now using embellishing tones. And we're going to start with just 1 embellishing tone to start with. And we're also going to, if you have your composition, we're going to look at how to analyze it and understand what embellishing tones you're already using. I think it's really important to recognize that this is a sketching exercise, that you're going to be learning how to get ideas, how to start. And looking at a blank piece of paper, oftentimes what ends up happening is people, raise your hand if this is true, you sit down at the keyboard and you start playing the piano. And you just, you don't know what else to do. Raise your hand if this is how you generate ideas. You don't? Okay, good. Landon, thank you for confessing. At least I know you're telling me the truth. I think I oftentimes sit down. I have the luxury of having a piano, and then I sit down and I start playing, and it's so much fun. I can hear instantly. It's instant gratification. I can hear what I'm thinking about. So it's helpful. This is helpful, at least thinking about a tonality. And let's start with 1 tonality. I'm just going to use C because that's the instructional key. This is the C major triad. Well, here's the triad, but here's the C major chord. And I want to start thinking of this presentation as a embellishing tones. And we're going to start with something, but right now, my guess is your ears are already smarter than your brain is. Has anybody ever heard me say that before? Your ears are almost always smarter than your brain. You all automatically have a whole bunch of experiences, music, listening to music, playing music, just music in the air that you can say, oh, you know, I can do what that guy did or that gal did. It's a really interesting melody. And then let me figure out how to, oh, I can do that. That sounds really cool. What is that? I don't know. This is a glossary of terms. So you're going to start having names for what your embellishments are. And it's helpful to start thinking about being able to name stuff. And it helps articulate and become more, I think the word is literate, to be able to name something. So these are for notes you already most likely use to make your music sound more interesting or tasty or expressive. First thing we're going to talk about is the passing tone. Typically a chord tone, passing tone. You see some blank spots right on this piece of paper. And I'm going to use this as a C. We're going to be doing everything in C major. It's easier this way. A chord tone and then a passing tone. That is a C major triad chord, and I'm going from E to D. So could you please write down on your notation software or your staff paper, E, D, C, and I'm using open fifths in the bass C and open G, and then I'm doing, are you guys writing it down on your notation? Yes? Yes. There's too many noises going on here. Hold on a second. There we go. And my phone is ringing. Let's see what other noise I can get. If I only had a dog, we could have a dog barking, everything else. Passing tone is just between two chord tones. So from E to D, C, those are both on the C major triad. And all I'm doing is adding the D, go from E to D to G, C. I want you to think of other examples from one chord tone and then the C. Just write down on your piece of paper a C triad and on one hand, and then the other hand, go from one chord tone through another tone to another chord tone. So it's by step. You have to move from one to the next by stepwise, and that will be, that middle note will be the passing tone. Does anybody have an example of that? Hello? Testing. Waiting for a response. Anybody?
An example could be going from G, F to E.
G,
and so F would be the passing tone?
Yes, F would be the passing tone, and that's perfect. Now, what's another one? And I give you a hint on the document right here. The hint is 7 chords. What is the 7th chord? The 7th note in a C major scale is B, I'm sorry. Or I could do this 7th. That's a B flat. This is a B natural. And I could go from a B flat to an A to G. The A would be the passing tone. So the filling in the blank there would be from B flat to A, which is the passing tone, to a G. So that's sort of cool. Any passing tone is from one chord tone to a next chord tone, and it could be up or down. It doesn't have to be down. I could do this. That's going up to a 7, going up to a G. The D is the passing tone when it's going from C, D, E, or the F is the passing tone, E, F, G. Or the A is the passing tone when it's going G, A, B flat. So it's up or down, and a passing tone can be on a strong beat or on a weak beat. What's really important to recognize very quickly on, there's a difference between embellishing and ornamenting, but it has to do with this one thing that we deal with in music all the time, is time. Time. If I do something really slowly, it's probably an embellishing tone. If I do it really quickly, it's probably an ornament. And that's how we would look at it. I'm going to go to the next one because we want to get through everything. This is a complete neighbor tone, which is a melodic embellishment between two chord tones. So here's an example. That's E, F, E. That's complete neighbor tone. So it's an upper neighbor in this case. A complete neighbor tone is between the same stable note. This is the E, and that's the upper neighbor, and it's back to that same stable tone or in that chord tone. A step from a stable tone to a neighbor tone and then back, either on an accent or an unaccented name. Now I'd like you to write a neighbor on your staff paper, but use the key of E flat major. Uh-oh, we're changing keys. E flat major. Pick a chord tone in the key of E flat. The notes in an E flat major triad are E flat, G, and B flat. And what I'd like to do is do an upper neighbor, complete neighbor tone. That's a B flat to a C. Or what's another note? You take a second to write that down. The notes are on an E flat major triad or E flat, G, B flat. And do an upper complete neighbor tone. Go from one of the chord tones up a step and then back. Then you would have completed a complete neighbor tone. Now I'd ask, does anybody have a piece of music that they've been working on that they have there in front of them? Anybody? I'm not thinking this, we just jumped into this, so you probably didn't have enough time to get your piece in front of you. Anybody?
I wrote a little bit last week.
Excellent. Well, what do you see any example of an upper neighbor tone, which means it's in the chord, whatever the chord is, the melody starts on a chord tone, goes up and then comes back.
No.
No, you don't see an example like that.
I have one like that.
You do. Can you play it right there?
Sure. So like it's on the 4 chord.
That's fine. That's absolutely fine. Perfect. Perfect. That's a perfect example, Kevin. That it's not a wrong note, it's an expressive, it's an embellishment note. And so in an example like that, it's making it tasty there too. Oh, I see. No. What is the key that you're in?
E flat major.
Yes. So you're going from C to D, not D flat, which is in the key. And it's actually not only just an embellishment tone, you're adding a little dissonance to it, and it sounds fantastic. And that kind of embellishment can also be the beginning of a theme, a thematic approach, so that you, in this case, that raised fourth in that scale. That's the D flat should be there, but you've raised it by a half step. It's called a raised fourth. that can be used all the way through your piece. And that's one way where you can use an embellishment to inspire the kind of approach that you have all the way through a composition. Not just that one instance, but you can make a decision. If you're making 1,000 decisions in any composition, you can say, okay, this time it's going to be a raised fourth. Oh, this time, no, that doesn't sound right. I'm going to have a regular fourth. Oh, now it's going to be a raised fourth. And you can use that as a thematic approach that has implications through the whole piece. Embellishments and ornaments are very closely associated. Embellishments are slower. They tend to be slower and become part of a melody. The ornament tends to be very fast and is ornamenting or slightly adding a flavor. So this could be and guess what I'm doing? I'm adding a lower neighbor there. That's the lower neighbor. And it's a passing tone, right? We're going right from the third to the first, and the second note, that second note in the scale is a passing tone. So great. Thank you very much, Kevin. That's great. Now I want to do a double neighbor tone. A double neighbor tone is in the key of C. Begins and ends on the same stable note. So I'm starting on the E. Now that was almost like a ornament because I played it that quickly. But if I go, it starts and ends on the same note typically. There's two notes, one above and one below the stable note. So you can see it goes from E up to F, down to D, and back to E. Did you have a thing, Josiah? Did you have a comment?
No.
Suddenly I saw the dog pop up. I'm following the speaker video right now. Okay, together with the double neighbor figures, the figures balance each other out, creating sort of a figure, what's called a figure. It's almost an ornament if you do it quickly. It is, if you take it a little bit slower, it's an embellishing tone. I'd like you to write in the key of G minor, a open G, using the G below middle C, and then up to G, a D above. So it's an open fifth. And then I'd like you to write a double neighbor on the staff paper in one of the notes above that. It needs to be it's in the score, in the chord, but you have to do up a step, down a third, and then back to the stable note in that, the beginning note of that figure. And Jonas, what do you have? Do you have a keyboard there?
Yeah.
Yes, I know. You knew I was gonna ask you about it, Jonas. Could you play an example of that? We're in the key of G minor, right?
So what is it?
Play a G minor in the left hand, a G D open left hand, and then pick a note within that triad of a G minor triad. Pick a note, then go up a step, down a third, and then back to the original note.
Can you repeat that one more time?
Yes, I can. You want to have an open fifths from G up to D. Just play that note, that interval right there. Then pick a note, and I don't get to choose for you. You tell me what note is in that triad, the G minor triad. It's G, something, and something. What are they? What are the notes? Yep, G and D, definitely. What's the middle note?
B flat.
Precisely correct. So start on one of those notes, either a G, a B flat, or a D in the right hand, and go up a step. And up a step, and then back down a third, and then go back to the original note. Play that one more time, both hands. Bingo. That is it. That's in the key of G minor. and you've done this. Oops. And it's an embellishment on, you could have just done this. Not nearly as interesting. It generates ideas. You do the same thing. I did the same thing. I just did it on different notes, different chords. So I did G minor, and then I did F major, and then I did C minor, and then I did G minor. Sounds cool, and can be the beginning of ideas. And it's really just using the embellishments. We've done so far, we've done the passing tone, we've done the complete neighbor tones, which is basically this. That's we call that the double neighbor. That's the upper neighbor. That's the passing tone. We've just used 3 different embellishing tones and we created a melody using that. Let's go on to the incomplete neighbor tone, which is an unaccented embellishing note. Oh, that's those terms. Unaccented embellishing note approached by a leap. Oh, crumb. Here's what it sounds like in the key of C. Oh, sorry. That's what the example is that's shown on the screen. It's resolved by a step after a leap. So here is G, D, E. So I could start what you started before, Jonas. Oh. That is an incomplete neighbor tone. Leap down, resolve back up into a stable note or a note in the chord. Passing tone. Now it's actually starting to sound like a tune. And we come up with a new tune. So it's a resolve by a step to an accented chord note. So you see here in the key of C, it's on beat 3 of that measure. 1, 2, that's a weak note, 3. So 2 and 4 are weak beats in the key, a meter of 4/4. And you were starting on 1 and 3, those are the strong beats in 4/4. Generally, an incomplete neighbor is any embellishment note. It could be this. That's a 7th. 7 down to a 2 of the scale, resolving up to the 3rd. So it's a leap followed by a stepwise resolution to a chord note that is, it could be any kind of leap. It could be this. Well, it's a step up. If I went this way, that is an incomplete neighbor tone. Any leap resolving by a step in the opposite direction into a stable chord note. That's just another example. You can get fairly dissonant and making it resolve in a consonance chord. But other kinds of incomplete neighbors have special names that follow in the following examples. These are other incomplete neighbor tones. So this is one kind. Here's another kind. It's an appoggiatura. Appoggiatura is an Italian name that we're abbreviating APP. It's a kind of incomplete note that is accented. So here's what it would sound like. I'm going to play it again. No, the appoggiatura is circled in those cases. So it's the D resolving into a chord tone. This is the C chord. It's approached by a leap and then resolving down, but always in the opposite direction from the leap. It's just what I said about the incomplete neighbor tone. It's happening here as well. And I'd like you to write an appoggiatura in F major, please, on your notation software or on paper. It's we're going to be in 4/4. Write an open F C in your left hand. I'm using the middle C and the fifth below F, and then I'm trying to write using a leap and resolution down a step. So I don't know what you're going to do. Melody has to be in F major, and you just keep the same chord. You don't have to change chords. There is a leap from below up to a note above a chord note. So, and then resolve down a step, and then another leap up to a note above a chord note, and then back down. So who's got something that they could tell me about and show me? Ari, are you on a keyboard? Yellow. Landon.
No, I don't.
Landon, do you have a keyboard?
No.
Becca?
Yeah, I do.
Yes, darn it. Oh, God. Let's see what it sounds like. I want to hear you. It's basically a leap up to a chord tone that is not in the chord and resolve down a step, and then another leap up and resolve down to a chord tone.
Okay.
Well, you're zooming all over the place. Me, just like
I know. I had to turn my keyboard on, move stuff.
Carter,
My
I'm coming up to you,
fell
man.
down
Do
the
you have,
stairs.
Carter, do you have a keyboard?
Huh?
Carter, do you have a keyboard?
It's in my other room.
Is it a electronic or is it acoustic?
It is. I have both.
Go get the electronic. Bring it in.
I might have to unplug a couple things.
That's fine.
Okay, I'm ready.
Okay, go. All right, that's the C major. I wanted something in F major.
That was F major.
Oh, it was.
Yeah.
Oh, you went from a C?
Yeah. I started on C.
Yeah. So tell us what you did and tell us so we can write it down.
So I, like in the left hand, I played an F and a C, and in the right hand, I started on the C and I jumped up to the G and resolved to the F. I jumped up to the B flat and resolved to an A.
Could you do it 3 in a row? Do 3 appoggiaturas in a row.
Yeah.
That's correct. That's exact. Except you're supposed to do a leap up.
Oh.
A large interval. Try it again. Right. And the appoggiatura is always on the accent. So it's not on the off beat, it's on the beat. And that's part of the effect of it. And it's sort of heart-wrenching. It's meant to, you go, oh, wow, that feels good. It hurts so good is that feel that an appoggiatura does. So it's really helpful to have that opportunity to make sure the dissonance is on the beat and then it resolves into the consonants on the offbeat. Or it could be on a quarter. You could do this on quarter notes. So it'd be beat 1 and 3 would be the appoggiatura and then resolving in beat 2 and 4 in the meter 4/4. That's great. Thanks a lot, Becca. Let's see what we got next. Escape notes or échappé. The kind of incomplete neighbor as well. It's on an unaccented beat. Oh, let me get this out of the way so I can see it. There it is. Here's the an example. It resolves up. You'll notice this. Beauty and the Beast. Beauty and the Beast. Those are échappés or escape notes. It resolves into out of, out. It goes, you know how the appoggiatura resolves back into a consonance? This escapes into a dissonance. It goes out of the consonant. That's not pretty. And I love the not pretty stuff, but that's what this is. You're using that escape note. I'm harmonizing these. So it is an accent. Accented note is on the consonant beat, consonant note. The unaccented part is escaping into a dissonance, then it leaps down. So it resolves up a step, leaps down, resolves up a step, leaps down. That's an escape note. And it's relatively unused. It's something that you have to have your ear attuned to it. And I would try in the key of C major, what is happening in the key of C major? If the left hand is a G, what is the chord that's playing there? And I'm playing as middle C. That'll help you. That'll give you a clue as to what the chord is. Landon, what is the key? What is happening? What is the chord in the key of C major? If the lowest note is a G, there's a C above that, and then there's an E above that.
What was the question?
What chord am I playing when the lowest note is a G, the middle note is a C, the highest note is an E?
Oh dear.
Yes. And I'm going to talk to you, Murray, a second, because you don't have a keyboard. So I'm coming your way.
Well, I have a keyboard, but it's not hooked up. There you
go. That's why I'm asking you.
Is it second inversion?
It is an inversion. And what kind of inversion is it?
I said second.
Bingo, gold star, very good. And so it's a C. It's in the key of C. It's a G up to a C up to an E. It's a key. And what is the chord in the key of C? What chord is that? G, C, E.
Wait, what?
What chord is a chord when it's in second inversion and the notes are G, C, and E? Is it a 4 chord? Is it a 6 chord?
It's still a 1.
It's a 1 chord. It's a 1-6-4 is what it's called. Second inversion. It's a 6 on top of stacked on top of a 4. And you know why it's called a 6-4 chord? G up to E is a 6, and that's the top number. And a G up to the C is a 4th. Did you know that was how it was named?
No, I didn't know that.
So when we crush the notes down to the smallest size that you can be, a 1-6-4, the 6 is from the lowest note to the top note of the triad, and that's a 6th, and that's an E, in a G up to an E, and from G up to C is just a 4th, and that's why it's called a 6 and then 4 underneath. I should do it upside down.
I didn't even know it was called a 6-4 chord.
There you go. And now you do. And now you know why. It's going to make sense because now you know why. It's a second inversion, absolutely. And we call it a 6-4. And in this case, it's a 1 chord in the key of C. It's a 1-6-4. It just sounds like numbers when I'm saying it out loud. I'm seeing in behind my eyelids, you'll see that I'm looking at a Roman numeral 1 with a 6 on top of a 4 next to it. Let's see if I can come up with another one here. This is escape tone. Yeah, escape note. Oh, anticipation. This is not a Carly Simon song, and that is a cultural reference that is way older than you are. Carly Simon wrote a song called Anticipation, Anticipation, like that. And the anticipation is basically an early arrival at a stable note. So it's unstable note or a dissonant note. So here it goes. That's a dissonance, but it's anticipating what's consonant. And so it's using the arrival of the C major chord, which is this, and before that it's a G chord. Oh, that C does not fit in a G chord. All right, now I want you to take a few seconds. In the key of C, I want you to write a melody using a passing tone between the first three notes. It's all in the key of C. We aren't getting out of the key of C. I want you to write a note in the chord of C. In the key of C, write a chord note, and then have it go through a passing tone to another chord tone. Go ahead, start. In the key of C, 4/4. Let's do 4/4.
Alright.
And it's going from a chord note through another passing tone to another chord note. That's all you're going to do right now.
Let me get myself situated here.
You're doing okay, Carter. Is
Right.
there anybody in this besides the 5 of you in this group? So it's Mari, Landon, Becca, Jonas, and Carter. Is that it? Fantastic. No, more.
I have a MIDI keyboard.
Oh man! Oh,
I have to screen share for you to hear it.
Tim, not yet. Keep your microphone on. I didn't see you guys over here on this side. Oh, AJ, we need you to write something too. And Allie.
Just sort of listening and popping in and out.
Okay, well, I'm here now, and I'm watching this screen. I've got everybody here in front of me.
All right, so what do you need me to do?
I need you to write in the key of C, a chord tone. Pick a chord tone, any chord tone. Then go to another chord tone going through a passing tone. Whatever that note is. Tim, you can do this without a keyboard. Allie, turn on your microphone. I'd like to hear Tim's microphone on, Kevin's microphone on, Landon's microphone on, Mari's microphone on. Please turn them on so I can hear you guys. All right, so we're starting in the key of C. Pick a chord tone, go to another chord tone through a passing tone. So there's stepwise motion. Don't play it. No, don't play it.
Oh, just write it?
Just write it. You don't need to play it. Just write it a chord tone, going to another chord tone, passing through the non-chord tone. And we're in the key of C, stay in the key of C. And I want to have a note, going to another note, going to another note. And it's moving stepwise from a chord tone to a different chord tone.
Okay.
Then I want you to do what's called a complete neighbor tone. Stay in that first tone, that third note that you have. I want you to go to a fourth note and then return to the third note. Whatever the third note was, go to a fourth note and then return back to that third note.
Okay.
And now we've got 5 notes, if I'm not mistaken. AJ, is that right? How many notes have we had on the page, AJ?
6.
6. No, should be 5.
Okay.
I'm counting my head.
I only have 3 so far.
Say what?
I only have like 3 so far. I'm confused.
So
Okay.
it's a passing tone, and then it goes down to a fourth note, and then back up to the third, right?
Whatever your first note is.
Okay.
Going to a third note, passing stepwise through that is called a passing tone. We're going to create a passing tone. We're going to do all of these different embellishments. We're going to go from we're going to create a passing tone first.
3 notes there.
3 notes there, from first note through a passing tone to another tone. It could go up or down, doesn't matter.
Okay.
Then we're doing
Then 3 notes there.
well, no, we ended on the third note. Then I want you to do a complete neighbor tone, which would be up or down a fourth note, and then returning to the fifth note, which is the first note that you had in that little embellishment. So you're putting two embellishments together. That makes sense? So I'm thinking, I'm just going to say C up to D, up to E, and then I'm going to do E to F, and then back to E.
That's you don't repeat
Don't repeat the same note. No.
Can we pick whatever rhythm?
Whatever rhythm you want. Whatever rhythm you want. It's in 4/4. It's in C major. All right. And now I'm at this one. Now I'd like you to do a sequence. You know what a sequence is you do exactly the same thing again, but you start on the note you ended on. Start on the note that you ended on. Do a passing tone. Do a passing tone to another chord tone, and then do the neighbor tone again, which means you're going to a non-chord tone back to the original chord tone. And this is a sequence. And now we're doing a double neighbor tone. Oh my God, we're moving on to a different embellishment. What is the quality of the upper neighbor tone? Is you have to begin and end on the same stable note, but you have to move up or down a note, and then a third, or you're basically going back the direction. So this one goes, I could go this, I could go down and then up and then resolve. But this one, the one we have on the page is E, F, D, E. I want you to do whatever your last note was in that sequence. Start with that last note, and then go up a step, then back down a third, and then a step. Does that make sense? Anybody lost? I hope some people are lost.
Very much.
Excellent. You're falling into my trap, just as I wished. Okay, let me get
diabolical plan.
Yes, it is diabolical. Exactly. Now, how do I get this going? There we are. There we are. So let's start with Allie. Could you play us what you have so far?
I don't have a keyboard.
Mandy, keyboard?
No.
Oh, Jonas, you're next in line. Jonas, what do you got?
I don't know if I even did it right.
That's what we're going to find out. Let's start. Just the melody. You don't have to do any of the harmony, just the melody.
Like, what about the chords?
Don't worry about the chord. Just play the melody.
Okay.
Yes. Now, I want you to do the double neighbor tones, which means it's going up or going down, one or the other, and you resolve by coming back. You see what I'm talking about? To the original tone. I forgot the rest of it. That's it. So I want that double neighbor tone at the end of your thing that you have right now. Who else has a keyboard? Becca? Let's hear it.
Okay.
And we move. Here we move. Okay, good. All right. Yes, that's the beginning.
Yep.
And rhythm is part of it. Kevin, could you show us what you've got?
Yeah.
And William, Tim, you're going to be next.
Oh, I accidentally closed it.
Oops.
No, I can't find it. Oh, there it is.
Carter, you're going to be third. Perfect, Kevin. That's really great. Could you play it again? Now putting in the rhythm, now this is basically, we're just using, it's almost all stepwise. Have you noticed that? Almost all stepwise. And you don't have any rhythm next to it. So putting rhythms into this is really part of the fun, is try to say, okay, how does this sort of fit together in an interesting way? Tim, can you play your tune or you not have it yet?
Well, I have it, but I need to like, in order to play it, I have to like screen share FL Studio so that you can.
And then I have to give you the permission to screen share, don't I?
Yeah.
Let's see how I do that. Oh, for crying out loud. Oh, we've got about 4 minutes to go, guys. Here, let's go. Very raw?
Yes. Extremely.
Really? This is not your best work?
No, and I was also getting my piano as well. So I'm just.
Carter, are you ready to show us what you got while I get him hooked up?
Sure, it's. I don't even think I got like a double neighbor tone at all or anything. I think.
Let's see it. Let's see what you have.
All right. That's all I have.
Well, you know what? You have more now than you did before we started.
That is true.
It is not exactly what we talked about, but it's not bad. It's not bad at all. Tim, I'm trying to figure out how to. You are screen sharing. Oh, I have to stop. That's what I have.
Yes.
To do. Yes.
Okay. Thank you.
There you go. You bet. I forgot that.
Okay. Can you hear things?
No.
Weird. Okay.
When you start, before you hit screen share, it asks you in the lower left-hand corner to share the computer sound. So get out of screen share. Yeah. Down in the lower left-hand corner, there's a little checkbox.
There we go. Okay. Now, do you hear it?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. So. I'm not sure if I did it right.
That isn't one of the things that we talked about, but it is one of the things that's on this this glossary of embellishments. Now, what I would like to tell you is that these are for you to use. I'm going to share this document. Use them as a way to get ideas. It's this first day Monday is a way to get started, and starting melodies. Your ear is going to lead you in a direction. But one of the things this glossary of terms is going to basically do is it's going to show you how to, here we go, there we are, how to get started, coming up with ideas, and then being articulate about it, and not just, basing it all on ear, although that's great. We've got escape tones, we have anticipations, we have syncopation is one of the things that's discussed. How to use dissonance, resolving to consonants is one of the things. A suspension is one of the great ways to do this. And here is, these are all explained in this little handout. The ornaments as well are the quick version of the embellishments. You'll understand the appoggiatura, which is this. That's the last one there. And that's, all of these are taken, these examples are taken from Hello Music Theory. And now that's also linked here. It'll take you to a website that gives you more examples. I think we're done, guys. This is very helpful. Thank you. I appreciate your doing this. And please use this glossary. If you hit a blank spot and you're going, I don't know what sounds right. And I think embellishments will actually generate ideas that then you take away. Because once you get, if you only wrote embellished melodies, everything would be stepwise, it would all fit nicely, and there would be no originality, no fluency. Knowing the terms, knowing how they're used, knowing the musical examples, how they're used, is the beginning of literacy. Then you become fluent at it. Practice it just a little bit. What we did today, 10 minutes is all you have to try. And all those examples on that glossary, and then become intentional. Do some things like what Kevin was doing with the sharp fourth, which was a great way to add a little spice to this. use altered tones, but use this as sort of an architectural clay to start building things. I think this is great. Thank you very much. I will see you sometime later. We have lunch break now. Take care. Bye.
Randall, I have a quick question.
Yo.
How do we get into private lessons or find the link for the Zooms?
You're going to get an email from your teacher at the appointed time, just beforehand, and then you click on that link and it'll take you there.
All right, thank you.
You bet. Any other questions or suggestions or comments or improvements? I can take those. Even criticisms, I can take criticism.
How will we get the shared folder with all the links and stuff?
You're going to get an email that says, hey, you've just been shared blank, blank, blank document. Okay. So you'll get an email at your email address.
Okay.
That's great.
So the next scheduled thing is at 1?
1 o'clock. That's theory at 1. And then we have the marathon starting at 2 o'clock of the salon and then back and forth between salons and tutorials from 2 to 5:30. Got it? Any other questions? Thank you very much, guys. Have a good afternoon.
Wait, did Kevin have a question?
Yeah.
Yes, Kevin.
So for the private one-on-one things, because I have that at 12:40, should I send a PDF of my piece to my teacher?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. The more you give us, the more we can help. Ask AJ, she knows. The more you send me, and she takes lessons with me, she sends me a ton of documents. And I think we get started with 1 or 2, maybe 3. But the more you have, Kevin, the happier we are. Go ahead and
just send it all.
Send it all. Even if it's
the good, the bad, the ugly.
Exactly. Even if it's half baked, don't worry about it. Send it to us. We can use it. That's great. This is Eric's group. Did you guys have a good session, Eric? I can't hear you.
Yeah, we did.
Excellent. We did too.
How was yours? Good.
We had a good. Got a chance to start writing melodies using embellishments. That's the beginning. And that's really all we really needed to do, is to get get some culture into the yogurt so that the brain starts working.
That's what it's all about.
Yep.
The yogurt.
The yogurt. We're making yogurt over here. All right. I think we're good. Tim, Xander, Jared, Hybrid, everything okay? All right. We'll see you guys either at 1 o'clock, but I would strongly encourage you to attend the salons at 2 o'clock, starting at 2 o'clock. Thank you.
Okay. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.